Your Sports 1140 KHTK update. Brought to you by J.R. Putman Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hey, this is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. Hey, the Kings had a big day yesterday, and they didn't even play. Both the Spurs and Clippers lost. The Spurs fell to the Knicks 130-118 at Madison Square Garden. The Clippers were in Denver and got blown out by the Nuggets 123-96. Sacramento is now tied in the loss column with both teams just one game back of a playoff spot. The Spurs currently hold the 7 seed. The Clippers hang on to the 8 seed. The Kings are back in action tonight in Minnesota. Our coverage on Sports 1140 begins with game night at 3:30. Then at 4:30, it's Kings Live. 5 o'clock is tip-off, so make sure you keep it locked to Sports 1140. And the San Jose Sharks made a move ahead of today's trade deadline. They dealt a pair of draft picks to Detroit for forward Gustav Nyquist. Nyquist is second on the Red Wings with 49 points at 16 goals, 33 assists. He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. The Sharks topped the Red Wings 5-3 yesterday in Detroit behind Joe Pavelski's 5th career hat trick.
You know that of those two picks too, the one of the picks actually goes to a second rounder if the Sharks make the playoffs with him too. I mean, that's 3 big acquisitions.
Yeah.
That the Sharks have had in the last year, sitting second in that division. That's impressive.
Yeah, big time, and I'm sure we'll have a full hour of that.
Total breakdown.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what? Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning.
We should probably have a Sharks guy
Get on the
on.
phone at 339-1140.
Do that on the
On
podcast.
our text line at
Overdrive.
44-1140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
A lot of reactions to the question of the day. What
I have a couple reads to do. Can I do my read real quick?
Oscar version of the question of the day? What current or former movie title would describe the Kings season thus far? Kyle Madson.
If you have been injured at work, call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-554-4000 for a free consultation.
You said a couple. Yeah, you had a couple of reads.
Oh, yeah, but I think I'm...
You want to split them up?
Yeah.
How about Spike Lee bear hugging Samuel L. Jackson when he got to stay on stage for finally winning that Oscar, although not for Best Director, which he should have won. He absolutely should have won. Spike Lee got screwed.
Ooh, I've got a good Kings season movie name.
What?
Snakes on a Plane.
No, that's the George Carl years. Some of these titles are stupid, and I don't know why. Okay, maybe it would apply this time, but I don't think he's on the plane. And I know that was off the air. Dodgeball? Smokey and the Bandit?
I wonder if Dodgeball, because they're the underdogs.
They did put that in parentheses. I still think that's a reach. Extremely loud and incredibly close, but bonus points to the texter who put in parentheses Sandy Bullock and Tom Hanks' movie. Like calling her Sandy, that gets me a little bit. I had a serious moment.
What if I just didn't get the question and we just Bird Box?
Bird Box, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Actually, those all weirdly fit.
Yeah.
No, they're not. I had a rough situation over the weekend. We'll get to the rest of this. I didn't come straight back. I went to my sister's house.
Gone in 60 seconds.
And that's not bad. And you watch this Marie Kondo show where
I love
the organization, everyone's into that. I watch it.
Tidying up.
I'm
It's
with you.
excellent.
Yeah, it's got a spark
I have
joy.
I have all my drawers Marie Kondo.
So my little sister, and
KonMari.
though she'll be 40 in December, she's still my little sister. She's showing me her drawers in her room, and she opens up the one, and she's got all these T-shirts in like perfect order, right? And I notice right next to each other, it's her nightshirts. She's got a Kings nightshirt and a Lakers nightshirt. Now, my sister's been living in Los Angeles for 18 years now. In fact, we went over it. She lived in New York for a year, London for a year, and she's lived in L.A. 18 years. She's coming up on she's lived in L.A. as long as she's lived in Sacramento. And I also have to stress, too, my sister knows nothing about sports. She's not into sports at all. She's the producer of Dance Moms. That's what my sister does.
Really?
Yeah, truly. No, she's the producer. I'm not joking. That's what she does. She also produced, what was the Bret Michaels one, the Rock of Love. She produces reality shows. That's what my sister does.
Shut up.
I swear to God, I've mentioned this before.
No,
haven't I?
why does she not come on the show and talk about this ever?
Why would we have her come on the
Because that's incredible. You've been hiding this information from
I
me.
don't talk about her a ton, but
You
I haven't been
should.
hiding it.
That's an amazing
we're going to
career.
have my sister come on and talk about Dance Moms on a sports show?
Yes.
No. Plus, I also I don't want to put I'm way too protective of my sister. Anyways. But
Did she ever visit?
yeah.
All right, we'll do an overdrive where I have so many questions.
Oh, she'll come in. Oh, trust me.
Oh, dynamite.
My sister
Okay, that's fine. We'll do a podcast.
is a
then.
character.
We'll do a podcast. I don't doubt that. She's
But
related
not
to
like
you.
my mom and dad. She's different. You'll like her. She's much different. Anyway, and my sister, if I have any talent, which I don't, but if I have any talent, it would fit in the thumbnail of my sister.
No, I don't doubt that.
She is insane.
Like it's like a souped up version of you, which would be great.
Like me on steroids that's souped up, that's on meth. Like it's as far as her talent goes. Anyways, yeah, I know. I found out, and I had a freaking tantrum, dude. My little sister has a Lakers shirt, a night shirt. So I kind of feel guilty, but I don't. I made a video about this. I ended up stealing the night shirt, and I took a video of me trashing it at LAX. And now I got to send her 2 King shirts. And I think it's fine. I can't hold it against her because she doesn't understand. She truly is removed. But I cannot have a sister that has a Lakers night shirt. That just doesn't work for me.
Hey, you can't do that.
Happy birthday, Costa Koufis. He's 30. I think the biggest headline is Costa Koufis is only 30. Congrats. Also, coming off the plane, there was a snowball fight between Costa Koufis and I believe Bogdan Bogdanovic. And the way things were going while I was gone, Kyle.
Tension in the locker room.
Yeah. Jay Billis was right. Tension in the locker room. Can Bogdan Bogdanovic recover from this assault by Costa Koufis? While, by the way, the teammates were laughing. They were laughing while Costa Koufis was throwing things. People lost their mind.
This is unbelievable. It's like World Star at the Kings locker room.
World Star. I'm referring to this whole Dave Yeager yelled at Buddy Hield, and then Kevin Durant laughed about it. Dame Lillard made a tweet about it. And then it turned into Dave Yeager yelled at Buddy Hield, which is why Buddy Hield didn't shoot the shot and the Kings lost to the Warriors. First off, can we acknowledge that the shot Buddy didn't pull the trigger on wasn't exactly a layup? It was like a step inside freaking half court. Relax. Number one. 2 steps.
It felt like when he caught it that he was going to shoot it and make it.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like. But it's not like that's what was going to happen and we can just put it in the bank. Number 2, headline, coach yells at player, film at 11. What?
I want to go back to, and like everything, I'm going to make everybody tune out by relating this to the Warriors. But do you remember the Oklahoma City game? I think it was Kevin Durant's first game back in OKC. And the Warriors locker room became like a national story because it was so loud at halftime because Draymond Green and Steve Kerr were about to fight.
Yeah, they were yelling at each other. I do remember this.
Like, not like getting into it, like, we should run more pick and roll. Like, no,
Right.
we should. Like, they were ready to fight each other, hurling insults at each other.
Yeah.
Like, I can't explain how much of a non-story it is that Dave Yeager had words for Buddy Hield on the sideline.
Here's what I figured out. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but I kind of do. I mean, if you get offended, you probably needed to be offended today, so deal. We have a couple of factions in Kingsland that either are too young to remember what it was like to be relevant as a team, or they were the people that said, I'm not watching any of this crap. I don't watch losers. And they've tuned out for 13 years. You have a lot of people that just aren't used to this and don't know what they're talking about. And I saw it all over the message boards and everywhere. People legitimately blaming Dave Yeager for Buddy Hield not pulling the trigger on that shot. And then, of course, Yeager and Buddy Hield went on to say that wasn't even what we were talking about. It was something completely different. And Yeager tries to step in front of his guy and says, listen, you try to coach, and sometimes the cameras are on you. And I wish that hadn't happened. But I have a news flash for you. That's not the first time Dave Yeager has yelled at Buddy Hield. And Dave Yeager has probably yelled at Buddy Hield, I would guess, about 1,000 times worse 1,000 other times. And De'Aaron Fox. And Bogdan Bogdanovic. And Willie Cauley-Stein. Because coaches get on players. It's what happens. Especially when you don't run a play that you're supposed to run, even if it works. But I kind of understand the fans. Like, okay. But we got a couple people in the media that are freaking out about this or were. It's like, did you just start watching? Pat Riley's rolling over in his grave right now.
Shout out to the texter who's inevitably going to be like, oh, Pat Riley's still alive.
Grant Popovich is rolling over in his grave right now, Kyle.
But I guess the thing for me is if that's what really shot Buddy Hield's confidence, which it didn't because he had 34 2 nights later.
He somehow recovered, Kyle.
If that was going to break Buddy Hield, the coach getting into him a little bit mid-game, then Buddy Hield needed to happen then.
Yes.
Like, you'd rather find out now that Buddy Hield's confidence is going to be shot after one time.
It's going to get worse. The pressure's going to get bigger. You're going to have bigger things to deal with than your coach yelling at you about a play. By the way, the play the coach drew up at the end of the game that was for Buddy Hield, he also drew up a perfect play where Harrison Barnes completely missed Marvin Bagley all by himself under the basket, breaking away from everybody, and he found Buddy Hield. Nobody mentions that part, that Harrison Barnes didn't check down like a quarterback and see Marvin Bagley literally all by himself in the key. All by himself. I'm not exaggerating. There was nobody else in the key but Marvin Bagley, and he tossed it into Buddy Hield, which was the play. And Harrison Barnes didn't check it down. Nobody's talking about that. Talk about that, not Buddy Hield missing a 740-footer.
Like fourth game with the team.
I get it.
Trying to just do the right thing.
He's not a rookie. Buddy Hield didn't take a shot from Richmond, and that's what we're worried about. He didn't take a shot from Berkeley, and that's what we're worried about. Jesus. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. We'll revisit some of your answers from the question of the day, and then we're all kings the last half of the show. It's The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
The Kings close out their road trip tonight in Minnesota against the Timberwolves.
Right wing goes to the left, frees up for 3. Buddy Hield delivers again.
Game time is 5 right here on your home of the Kings. Sports 1140 KHTK.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friend Dr. Jack Friedlander and everybody over at NorCal Liposculpture. It's February 25th. You know what that means? That means tomorrow's February 26th, but really what that means is March is next week. Why is that important? Because April and then May, we're in spring almost. Next thing you know, it's going to be 100 degrees. Yeah, that's right. We're there. That means you're going to be wearing less clothes. Like I'm wearing a big Sacramento Kings hoodie right now. You can see that on the live stream. Pretty soon, though, I'm going to be wearing muscle shirts and tank tops. Okay, probably not, but you get my point. So are you. Why not have that body where you want it to be? Dr. Jack Friedlander can help you get through all the hullabaloo. If you're a dieter, if you're an exerciser, and you just have that trouble area, Dr. Jack can help you. If you're just somebody who doesn't have time or energy or wants or discipline to diet and exercise, Dr. Jack can help you with his Vaser and Vaser high-def technologies. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm asking you, if you're thinking about it, go sit right across from Dr. Jack Friedlander in his office with a free, no-obligation consultation appointment and find out just how much this fits for you. That's all I'm asking you to do, because it'll change your life. 347-7755. That's 916-347-7755. NorCalLipo.com. It's NorCalLipo.com. Get in there today. And tell me good buddy Carmichael Dave sent ya. You know why I'm late.
You're just late. You're just here so you don't get fined.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back, and sometimes you find things out that happened while you were gone. And you have to, have conversations. Anyways, do we have any more of those spots coming up today? By the way,
I don't know.
Stay tuned later. If we talk about NorCal Lipo.
Yeah, 8:25.
When?
8:25.
8:25. Stay tuned. Kyle and I will be talking about NorCal Lipo. And my good friend, Dr. Jack Friedlander.
Love Dr. Jack.
Question number 1.
Did you watch the Oscars last night?
I did, Kyle. Thanks for asking.
You're so welcome. I'm always curious what you're up to.
I thought it worked without a host. I did. I think that's something they should probably do.
We'll never have another Oscars host unless somebody is like. It's a really morbid situation that I think we'll have another Oscars host. I think if maybe not morbid, but somebody like retiring or something like that. I'd be like, yeah, come host the Oscars. Like as an honorary host.
You had, who was it? It was Maya Rudolph, Amy Poehler. Was it Tina Fey? God, my memory's so bad. Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel.
No, I think it was the three of them that did like a 3-minute little monologue. And I could see stuff like that where you have kind of co-hosts.
Yeah.
It worked really, really well. I thought Spike Lee got screwed. I'm going to watch that movie Roma by Alfonso Cuarón.
I'm going to as well.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. It's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, that's where it I think it co-released. Had like a small theater release and on Netflix.
True story. Netflix also won for best documentary.
Yeah.
And it was called, the documentary was, I think, Period, End of Sentence.
Yes.
And so I went on last night to go watch it. Talk about not judging the title right. I didn't realize what it was about, and I didn't. It's about...
Yeah.
Right, and I just, I mean, I got to watch it.
Did you watch it? You should.
I got to watch it. You know what I ended up doing? I ended up watching Good Will Hunting. Here's it. I know we got to move on. Trick for everybody. Good Will Hunting's on Netflix.
There's a lot of our movies that I have to watch are on Netflix.
It's a completely different experience if you watch Good Will Hunting and you just fast forward to all the scenes with him and the mathematician and him and Robin Williams. I didn't watch any of the stuff with what's-her-face. I just watched that. It's about an hour long, and it's still just as good.
I didn't watch the Oscars.
And you haven't watched Good Will Hunting?
I haven't. Every time.
Every time.
An original pair of Jordans in the box went for $11,000 last night. Too much or too little?
I feel like that's incredibly too little. Like these Jordans were in the box. Not only were they in the box, but they came
unlaced,
and they had the tag on them, and they came in the original bag from the shoe store that they were bought from. Like these were in perfect conditions. They were the original, the red, kind of off red, white and black.
Yeah.
I don't know.
$11,000 for a pair of shoes is a lot.
Listen, I understand that, and I'm not a sneakerhead.
But at this point, it's like art.
That's exactly right. It's the very first pair of the most influential pair of shoes in sports history, and it's in perfect condition, and it went for $11,000. When you consider the fact that there are plenty of shoes out there right now, and I'm not talking about top of the line. I'm talking about your Gucci shoes or your, what's the guy with the red soles?
You said I'm not talking top of the line.
Well,
Gucci.
no. When I say top of the line, I'm not talking about like when they wear the Oscars that have like diamonds on the high heels and stuff.
Sure, okay.
I'm talking about people buy shoes that are $3,000 and $4,000.
Uh-huh.
$6,000 more gets you the original pair of Jordans.
Like if you're gonna drop $4,000 on a pair of shoes,
drop $11,000 on Jordans.
That actually sounds about right to me. Like if you said, "Hey, what does an original pair of Jordans go for?" and you explained all this stuff to me, I probably would have said like $9,000 or $10,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I would have said $100,000.
Really?
I'm way off, dude.
If you told me I said $9,000 and you said higher, I would have said like $20,000 max.
Well, that's why I'm not a collector, dude.
Same.
Question 3.
Revisit answers for QOD.
Let's go back to some of our
Hang on, let me do this right.
Yeah.
How about for question 3, let's revisit some of the answers to our question of the day.
We asked, question of the day, Kyle, was what?
It was.
I'm only picking on you because you're on your phone.
Stand by. Well, I was going to go to the tweets.
Oh, you were working.
Yes.
I blew you up.
What movie title best describes the Kings season so far?
Hey, you were working there, and I blew you up, and I just want to apologize.
No, it's okay.
Return of the King? That's actually a pretty good one.
That's really good.
That's a really good one. My first instinct was Fast and the Furious, but Return of the King's actually, I don't even know if you can, I don't want to stop there. I should have saved that, though.
Oh, No Country for Old Men.
Because they're young?
Yes,
Okay.
Dynamite.
Dave, did you run up the stairs? You sound out of breath. Yes, I did. And I even skipped steps.
Old School, the Will Ferrell movie, because this is from Jim Forward on Twitter, reminds me so much of our early 2000s team.
Okay.
I can rock with that.
Okay. I don't think this will work because the movie was very, very serious and the subject matter obviously does not match. But I understand what the person was saying when they said the color purple. You know, Kings, purple, and all that. But I again, don't think that one will work. The Pursuit of Happiness. Lion King. Ooh, how about Young Guns? That's good.
Oh, that's a good one. This is from our good buddy Mike Barnbaum. I can't think of a movie title, but I would have music highlight videos of this season. Mike's such a legend.
Did he
dude.
offer any music?
If a video montage of Kings highlights of the 2018-2019 season were to be put together by Scott Moak, Scott Freshour.
Did he tag them all?
Yep.
Yep.
And Dan Spackman.
Uh-huh. Attaboy, Dan.
I
the
would
real
say
talent.
that they'd use Viva La Vida and Believer. I believe Believer is by Smash Mouth.
You know,
the Shrek song.
Remember we were talking about post-game anthems? I'll tell you what, I've seen it before. It's a very underrated anthem. We got a break, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Kyle.
Minutes ago. That's my fault.
Is at the beginning of Viva La Vida by Coldplay. There's actually a lot of crowd interaction on that. I've heard that before in stadiums. It actually wouldn't be bad at all. The dun 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 dun. That's how Viva La Vida begins.
Yeah.
And then the crowd goes, oh. Yeah,
yeah.
They just do that in unison. It's very much like Seven Nation Army.
Yeah.
But I don't think enough people be, it's a Coldplay song.
That's
It's Coldplay.
1,000% what would happen. Must be Nickelback.
Coldplay. You put cream in your coffee, sissy. We'll take a
Yeah?
break. Yeah, so do I. We'll take a break. By the way, does anybody do cream and sugar anymore?
Yeah. Oh,
But-
yeah.
but here's
That's
my
very
thing.
prevalent.
But why? Why do you not just do the flavored creamers, which cover both cream and sugar?
Well, because sometimes, like, if you go to a restaurant, they don't offer flavor.
Well, that's stupid. That's what they should do. Who does cream and then sugar anymore? We'll discuss that when we get back. I'll continue to revisit the drive question of the day. I've been gone a long time. Come on. And here we go. I'm going to tell you how many games I think it will take the Sacramento Kings to get in the playoffs and how likely it is. I got a lot of numbers for you. But before we go to break,
I have a number for you because it's time to call your local Geico agent, Vince Harris, our guy, at 916-923-5050. That's 916-923-5050.
VH. All right, when we get back, a lot of King stuff for you right here on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Now, your Sports 1140 KHTK update. Brought to you by J.R. Putman Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Hey, this is Kyle Madson with your top stories. That's right, they're yours, not mine, on Sports 1140 KHTK. It was a big day for the Sacramento Kings on Sunday. They didn't even play, but they gained ground in the standings thanks to losses by both the Spurs and the Clippers. The Spurs were in New York facing the Knicks. They fell 130-118, and the Clippers visited the Nuggets in Denver and lost 123-96. Sacramento's tied in the loss column with both teams a game back of both the 7 and 8 seed in the West. The Kings are back in action tonight in Minnesota. Our coverage on Sports 1140 begins with game night at 3:30. Kings Live is at 4:30, and tip-off with the G-Man is set for 5 o'clock. And the San Jose Sharks made a move ahead of today's trade deadline. They sent a pair of picks to Detroit for forward Gustav Nyquist. Nyquist is second on the Red Wings in points. He has 16 goals and 33 assists. He's an unrestricted free agent at the end of this year. The Sharks topped the Red Wings 5-3 yesterday in Detroit behind Joe Pavelski's 5th career hat trick. It's 7:35, or a hattie, as they're called. It's 7:35. If you have been injured at work, call the law offices of Doug Moreno at 916-554-4000 for a free consultation.
I stepped on that phone number saying I love Doug. What was the phone number again?
It's 916-554-4000. Those are your top stories on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Still love Doug. I do.
Big fan. I can feel it.
You're welcome, Sacramento.
Right.
The drive continues now.
You're welcome, Sacramento. Be safe out there. Wind starting up in the Sacramento area. Rain, rain, rain. Hopefully it will be raining three-pointers in Minnesota tonight. The Sacramento Kings are in frosty Minneapolis, where it was snowing when they landed. What was that, Saturday night? Take a current weather look. Minneapolis, Minnesota currently. Not that this will affect the game because Kyle, they play indoors. They play indoors at the Target Center. Kyle, would you like to take a guess right now? It is 9:36 in Minneapolis, 9:36 a.m. Would you like to take a guess as to what the temperature is currently?
In Minneapolis at 9:36?
9:36.
The temperature is 18 degrees.
18 degrees. It's a fine guess. It's a fine guess. I can tell you that the high on Thursday and Friday will both be the same temperature. The highs will be at 19 degrees. And those are the two warmest days of the week. Currently in Minneapolis right now, where your Sacramento Kings are, it is -4.
What?
The highs this week, 11, 14, 19, 19, 7, and 6. Be a balmy 19 on Thursday and Friday, only because it'll be snowing.
Okay. What's the high temperature today?
The high temperature today is expected. It's expected to get up to 6. Although it says here when I look through the hour to hour, at 4 p.m. it will be 5. And then it will start to decrease to 4. Tip-off at 7 p.m. there in Minneapolis. Tip-off, it will be 0.
All right, what number will be higher today? Buddy Hield rebounds or the high temperature?
That's a great little deal right there. Which will be more, Buddy Hield rebounds or the high temperature in Minneapolis, Minnesota today, where your Sacramento Kings are playing? The quick fix here is to say Buddy Hield rebounds, but
what's he averaging? Like 5.5?
He is averaging about a little over 5, 5.2.
Gosh, that's such a good prop.
It really is a good prop bet. Let's put that online, would you?
I'm doing that.
Screw it. I'm going with Buddy Hield. Sacramento.
Yeah, because if he pulls down a 6th rebound, like let's say he's getting to 5, if he pulls down a 6th rebound, you're good.
You're good. I want to give you some notes on your Sacramento Kings. We do not know if Karl Anthony Towns is playing tonight officially, by the way, but I'm sure he will be. He's been out a couple games. I'm sure he will be. The Sacramento Kings are 9-21. Well, let me start with their record overall. Okay. Sacramento Kings. Who would have thought this at the beginning of the year, Kyle? By the way, that we'd be having all. It's so great to be in a true blue playoff hunt. No hype, no screwing around. Kings are 31-28 right now. All right, so they have 23 games left. Now, here's some thoughts on your Kings. The Kings are 9-21 versus teams above 500. That's a 30% clip. They're 22-7 versus teams below 500. That's a 76% clip. Now, I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you, so just there'll be a quiz later. Out of their 23 games left, 13 are below 500 teams and 10 above. So they have 3 more games against teams below 500 than they do above. Now, keep in mind, this does not factor in home and away games. They have 11 home games left, 12 away. And after tonight, that'll be even Steven at 11-11. But if you just simply do the mathematics on those numbers, that means the Sacramento Kings have 12.86. Let's round it up to 13. 13 wins coming, which, if it sticks to the math, that would put them at 44 wins. I think it's going to take them 45. I looked through everything. I think it's going to take the Kings 45 wins to get into the playoffs. I think that's the mark. Right now, they are a game behind the Clippers and a game behind the Spurs for the 7 and 8 spot. The Clippers will win the tiebreaker. The Kings are currently winning the tiebreaker versus the Spurs. By the by, the Kings are 2 games behind the Utah Jazz in the loss column and overall. They are also 2 games ahead of the Lakers and 3 games ahead of the 28 and 31 Timberwolves. So a win tonight would effectively, I wouldn't say it put the Timberwolves completely out of it, but it would make it really difficult for them. Kings would also hold the tiebreaker over Minnesota. A lot of Kings fans watching that Lakers team. It'll be very interesting. Now, also keep in mind the Kings win over 63% of their games at home, 41% on the road, 11 at home, 12 on the road remaining. Of their 10 remaining games versus plus 500 teams, 4 are at home, 6 are on the road. Of their 12 remaining games versus teams below 500, 7 are at home, 6 are on the road. So that's interesting. But I have more for you. I have some more for you. If we just say, and I think it's fair to say, that the Kings' royal number, not magic number, we want to win, royal number is 14.
Because of Magic Johnson, that's the joke.
Thank you. If we say that it's 14, which I believe it is, that puts them at 45 wins. And mathematically, they're looking at 13 wins. Here's what I find very interesting, Kyle. And this should make Kings fans feel good. Now, numbers, schmumbers, and blah-de-blah-blah. They lost to the Suns. Things can happen. But would it surprise you if I said, going into tonight's game versus Minnesota, the Sacramento Kings at 31 and 28 have played the 3rd most difficult schedule in the National Basketball Association, tied with Houston. Only Utah and Phoenix have played tougher schedules.
All West teams. And Phoenix doesn't have to play themselves.
Exactly. Thus, they're going to have a very tough schedule. So not only have the Kings played the 3rd toughest schedule in the NBA, meaning the combined record of their opponents has a winning percentage of 51.3%, 0.513.
They're 9 and 21 against teams above 500.
9 and 21.
It's not great.
But how about this?
I think they're 12 and 17 on the road, 12 and 16.
The Kings are 12 and 17 on the road. But how about this? This is kind of even better. The Sacramento Kings play the 5th easiest schedule in the NBA to finish out the year. They've played the 3rd toughest to date, and they finished with the 5th easiest. Only Milwaukee, Orlando, Toronto, and the Utah Jazz play an easier schedule from here on out than your Sacramento Kings. The combined records of their remaining opponents, they win 46.7% of their games. So to date, opponents have won 51.3%. From here on out, 46.7%. And by the way, that's with a Bucks game coming up this week. Clippers are going to be here Friday. Rockets, they got one more left there. They have 2 games left versus the Celtics, at home and away. Sixers on the road. Portland on the road to finish the year. There's still some toughies there. That just goes to show you how relatively, air quotes, easy the remainder of their schedule is.
They have to take care of business, though. That's
No doubt.
They have to pull out some wins against teams above 500, which they did against Oklahoma City. That's great. Check that box. But They have to win a few more. And they can't, like tonight against Minnesota, you can't drop this game. I understand it's on the road, but they're a sub-500 team. The Kings need to go win this game if they're going to be a playoff team.
Of course they do.
Like this is the kind of game that down the stretch, a team that's in the hunt goes and wins.
And this is a
They might lose it in November or December, but we're in late February, dude. You can't drop this game.
And this is the type of game that worries me.
Yeah.
You just beat Oklahoma City. You've had a little bit of rest. I don't know that Karl Anthony Towns will play tonight, but I'll bet he does. You've got Milwaukee coming up in the return home, and that Milwaukee game will almost certainly be a loss. You have a combination of Milwaukee, which just the Kings have no answer for.
And they have like 13 losses. Not many teams have an answer for that.
No. And it's also the first game back from a road trip. I'd almost rather it be Milwaukee. If you're going to, listen, go in trying to win the game. I'm not giving it up. But I'm saying if you're going to put Milwaukee somewhere on this homestand, I'd rather them be the first game, because that's generally where teams are a little bit off, is their first game back from a road trip, and then finish out strong. If Milwaukee, they play Milwaukee on Monday, and then they've got some wins coming up. Milwaukee,
they have some winnable games coming up.
Yeah, you have what we described. Now, tonight's game versus Minnesota, which we'll have right here on the Sporty 1140 pregame 4:30 tip-off 5. Tonight's game versus Minnesota is the most important game of this season. A phrase we're going to be saying a lot.
In fact, I'm not sure, depending on how things shake out. Maybe the Kings win 10 of their next 12, the Clippers lose a bunch in a row, the Lakers lose a bunch in a row, and the Kings can coast the final 2 or 3 games of the year. And we go, hey, great, they're locked into the 7 or 8 seed.
Sure.
But I can't fathom a scenario over the final 23 games where we don't look at it and go, hey, this is the biggest game of the year.
Well, I think we can go a step further. The biggest game at Golden One Center in its history, and the biggest Kings game arguably in the last 14 years, is happening on Friday versus the Clippers.
I'm making sure I'm in the building for that.
Yeah, that is going to be, not only is it an LA team, it's not the Lakers, but we still hate the Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the team, one of the 2 teams you are now directly competing with, and you have them at home, and they have beaten your ass this entire year.
Yes. And there's a very real chance that is for sole possession of a playoff spot.
Yep.
Like, we've talked about a playoff atmosphere and what that downtown area would be like. It should feel a little bit like that on Friday.
Oh, absolutely. That should be, the restaurants and bars should be packed before and after.
Yep.
Everybody should be in their seats at the start of every quarter.
And if you can, I know people work and stuff, but if you can, sneak out a little early on Friday to try and get down there.
Yeah, we give you permission.
Yeah, tell them.
Get down there and have fun.
Boss, Kyle and Dave said to leave early on Friday.
339, we haven't thrown out the phone numbers. 1-800-920-1140. 339-1140.
We've also
text us at 441140 in the Jiffy Lube text line, but we want to get you on the Fire Wings hotline too. 21 different flavors to choose from. Firewings.com. Just wing it.
We've also got Florida Georgia Line tickets. It's a country group I've heard
baby,
of. You can
your
win a
song
pair of,
make me want to throw my window down. Cruise.
It's a good drive song.
Thank you.
You can win a pair of tickets to see Florida Georgia Line at Toyota Amphitheater on March 1st, 2019. For tickets and more information, visit khtk.com. Okay, that's enough. 8:35. We're setting an appointment. So set your alarms if you're watching on the live stream or you're listening on the app where there's a delay or you're listening on the radio. Set your alarm. 8:35.
Holy, I'm high on loving you.
339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. 8:30.
What?
1-800-920-1140.
Yeah. I know a weird amount of Florida Georgia.
Yeah, that was very strange. I didn't like that.
I said once that they're like the Nickelback of country, but I mean that as a compliment.
So yeah, 8:35. Call and win some Florida Georgia Line tickets. You're welcome. We're so nice.
I'll go to that concert. When are you giving that away?
8:35. Call in.
339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. No, we cannot book Ja Rule for the halftime show.
What would I be without you?
Are you ready? Guess not. No, I don't think it will be a scheduled rest game tonight versus the Timberwolves. I mean, look at the Kings. They've got that Minnesota tonight, Milwaukee Wednesday, Clippers Friday. You got the Clippers, Milwaukee, New York, and Boston. If you go 2-2, it's not the end of the world, but I really like to see them go 3-1. You go 3-1, and then you got a little mini East Coast swing. Knicks, Wizards, Boston, Philly. I'll take 2-2 right now on that trip and be done with it. And that's probably where they will be. I mean, just looking on paper, you win in New York, you win in Washington, you lose Boston, you lose Philadelphia. They already beat Philadelphia here at home. I think they'll split. I do think the Kings will split those Boston games. I do. And you come home, you got a 4-game homestand, and this is where I think really things are going to start getting truly exciting for the Kings. I think it's going to be everyone's going to be on the edge of their seats, and you will be the entire year. But when you come home Friday, March 15th, which is just a little over 2 weeks from now, or excuse me, March 17th, you'll have Chicago, Brooklyn, Dallas, and Phoenix. You got to sweep that. You got to sweep those games. You have to go 4-0. You have to go 4-0 versus Chicago, Brooklyn, Dallas, and Phoenix. There's no way around that. You got to go 4-0 there. You're facing 4 teams, very, very vulnerable teams. And 4 teams, I want to say sub 500. Brooklyn's 31-30, but they're in the East. No offense to Brooklyn, but they're a little beaten up. That might as well be a sub 500 team. Then you go to LA and take on the Lakers March 24th. I'm going to count that as a loss, as much as I don't want it to be. But that is the first of a 5-game road trip, their last big road trip of the year. They go Lakers, Mavs, Pelicans, Houston, San Antonio. If they can grab 3 wins on that road trip and go 3-2, one of those wins especially could be San Antonio, just for funsies, I think you're in a good spot. Very interesting, though. Very interesting. How is the Nickelback, if anything, a compliment? Somebody asked. I don't want to get lost in that. We're in Kings Talk. But I will say, look up how many records they've sold, how many concert tickets they sell, how many stadiums they pack. I'm just saying, listen, I'm not a Nickelback guy, but, come on. So we looked at their strength of schedule to date. We looked at the fact that they're 1 game out. We looked at their remaining strength of schedule. Strength of schedule to date, 3rd hardest schedule in the NBA. Strength of schedule on out, 4th easiest. And they're 1 game back. 1-800-920-1140. David's on the phone. Good name. Hello, David.
Hey, good morning. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
I think the royal number is 46, one more than you said. With the schedule coming up, there's definitely 15 games is definitely in the cards as far as how we've been playing and the people we've already beat and have the potential to beat. So that's my number.
You think it's 46, not 45, huh?
Yeah. I just think there's a little bit more to be done. I think 15 is like skating, and you're just leaving the door open for the Clippers and Lakers. So,
no, trust me when I say, I would certainly be fine with them getting 46, but I do think it's 45. Now, a lot of people are going to come and say it's 43, 44. Either way, we know it's in that ballpark. 45 wins, Kyle. 45 wins for the Sacramento Kings would make them need to go 14-9. 14-9 the rest of the season.
I think they can do it. There are just so many games on their schedule that they should win, or they should be able to win. Even like the Celtics in Sacramento. Like that to me is a game they can win.
Well, Kyle had stepped out of the room. I'll stand in front of him. But yeah, I'd spent some time on that while you were out of the room. So I think they split that. They have the home and away. I think they absolutely split that. You kind of have to.
Absolutely.
For them to go 14-9, that's winning at a 608 clip.
You just if all they're going to do is beat the sub 500 teams and lose to the teams over 500, A, I don't think that gets them in. And B, how confident are you going into the playoffs?
If you're the Kings?
Yeah, if you went 11-26 or whatever against teams over 500.
I think this team's going to be so wide-eyed and so tight and so just starstruck going into the playoffs, at least in that first game. When they go in the playoffs, I would love to see there be like a little fisticuffs. Nothing serious, but something in the first round, first game. Just something to wake them up. When we get back,
Dave advocates fighting.
yes, I do. I am a huge fan of the fighting. When we get back, we'll look at the remaining strength of schedule, not for the Kings, but for the teams that they're going up against. We've also got some leftovers as well from your phone calls at 339-1140, and we will revisit the question of the day. We also have to preview Minnesota tonight.
Yep.
That's The Drive. Coming up next, Sports 1140 KHTK.
Since 1994, there has been one radio home for Sacramento Kings basketball.
Mobley now feeds it out to Bibby. Bibby at the top of the circle. Williamson sets the pick. Bibby to his right. 2 seconds to go. Shots on the way. He's done it again. I tell you, Mike Bibby, big game Bibby has done it again with 4/10 of a second to go. Desperation heave. Clippers no good. And Mike Bibby is absolutely mobbed across the way.
Listen all season long for more memories right here on Sports 1140 KHTK, your proud home of the Kings.
It's Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at Hoblet Ram. It's Ram Truck Month. Yeah, that's right. Your number one Ram truck dealer in all of California. Letting you know you can take up to $18,000 off select new Ram trucks. Take up to $10,000 off select new Jeeps. My goodness, Hoblet Ram, the only Ram truck center in the Sacramento Valley, just Rams. Full service Ram dealership in full heavy duty truck service as well on all makes and all models. You have all accessories for Ram trucks as well with no hassle, no pressure ever. Just 7 minutes from the airport, right there in Woodland. The J.D. Powers Customer First Award for Excellence winners. You know what that means? They're doing it right there. Over 1,500 vehicles in stock. 1,200 of them are Ram trucks, just like my 2019 Ram Laramie. This thing is awesome. Hemi. Beautiful. Check them out online at hobletdodge.com. Get right into their day. Enjoy yourself. And you tell me your good buddy Carmichael Dave sent you.